how to put together the Hbada chair. So this is a good option. I did a video on it. Remember, I did a comparison between 3 different chairs, and this is exactly 3 months of ownership of the chair. And I discovered that I didn't actually do a video to show you how to put the chair together. So it comes to you in a box, and you can actually put everything together. So in this video, I'm going to give you a quick overview of how to put the Hbada chair together. It is my favorite chair out of all of them, and even 3 months later, it's still performing very well. It's a little bit creaky, but I will do a full video review of 3 months later with this chair to let you know how well it performs for long-term usage. I use the chair regularly, and it's used as a video editing chair. So at 3 to 4 hours a day, I'm spending on this chair, and I've felt comfortable. I have got a standing desk, so it's kind of a mixture between that and this chair. So you get a little guide with the chair, and the parts come as the base unit, which is like a foam base where you sit on. You've got the legs, which are like the spinning legs, which you need to add the wheels onto. Then you've got the actual mechanism of the chair, which allows you to move it up and down. So this mechanism screws directly onto the base. In terms of construction, it's an Allen key nut that you screw through, and it felt nice and secure and strong. So I didn't have any worries about the longevity of how long it would last. So considering this is a budget option, remember we looked at a really expensive chair before. Well, I wouldn't say really expensive. It's more expensive than this chair, so maybe 3 times the cost of this chair. And I wasn't too pleased with that chair, so I didn't recommend buying it, especially after 1 month ownership of that chair. But this one, even after 3 months and showing you obviously putting it together, hopefully the video that I'm showing you here is giving you an idea of what I'm doing. So I won't go too detailed into a step-by-step walk through, but you can see in the video here there's 2 types of arms. And what you need to do is to see if does it matter which arm goes on which side, because there's no actual marking on there for left or right. So that's something that I struggled with. So I just found which looked right and how the arm was coming up and down, and that's what I used. So you can see here Allen key adding that on, and here's the 3 chairs that I reviewed. You can check out in the cards the other chairs I looked at. I wouldn't really bother with the really cheap chair. That was too flimsy for me. I'm not that heavy, I'm not that tall, so if I didn't like that first cheapest chair, it tells you quite a lot about the quality of it. However, if you're getting it for kids who are smaller and it's like a budget option, then it's perfectly fine. But this Hbada chair is a good option, and the reason for that is the construction. I looked through the guide as an extra help. The arms went on nicely. What would have been nice is if the arms were adjustable in terms of height, but all they really do is swivel up and down. So you can see it being put together here very nicely and easily. The back fits on, but remember you need to tighten all the screws, not fully, which I did do, which meant the back cushion of the chair was not fitting on correctly for me. So I'm showing you all the issues I had while putting the chair together, just so you don't have the same issues. Because I know a lot of people just make the video and they'll take out all the mistakes. So you'll see here I put it on the wrong way around. So what I did there was I took it off and then I loosened the handles again and flipped those handles around. The guide was not excellent, as in it could have been better, to be honest, if it broke it down in more detail. But at least this shows you, if you do go with the chair that I like the best, you can see how I put it together and the issues I faced with it. So going along these lines, you can see now putting that there, it didn't actually really fit. See the nuts and the screws, they don't line up, which means you have to loosen the arms and then loosen everything to the point where it's just about holding on, and then you can start tightening the screws down to hold the back in place, and then tighten the base nuts down. So what you would think is tighten down the arm, add the second arm, tighten the second arm down, and that should work, but that's not really the case with this example here. So you can see the base was nice and easy. The actual feet and the spinning bits of it. I'm showing you little overlays of the finished product here as well, just to give you an idea of how everything fits together and how it looks. There's a few moving parts of the setup, and there are a few caps that you can actually put over to hide the nuts and bolts that you put into the chair. And I did like the contemporary look of the chair. So overall, in an example of usage and putting it together, I'll give this like a 4 out of, well, 3 out of 5 for ease of setup. If it was a 5 out of 5, that would mean it's very easy. So 3 is like a halfway point, not too complicated, but you need to use your wits to kind of see which armrest goes where, and you can't really tighten everything down securely until all the bits have gone together. But as you're putting it together, you will notice things aren't lining up, and the main reason that will be is because everything's a bit too tight, possibly, which is what happened to me. So you can see that in my example here. But overall, the chair is a great option, even with that in mind of it being a bit more difficult to put together. For that, I would say still I was happy with the chair, and it fits together nicely. It just sits on the base, and then you're actually good to go. And there's nothing really more to it apart from that. So hopefully this helps you if you're thinking about the chair. I'll put a link in the description so you can actually see exactly where to pick up the chair from and how much it costs at the moment. And it was one of my favorite chairs. So I'll see you on the next video where I'll be doing a 3-month review on this chair.